Week 13.
Baker's dozen.
Still no podcast.
Getting further and further away from it.
Each day we stray further from God. Each day we stray further from pod.
Yeah. I thought we were his children, but he sure seems to have forsaken us.
Yeah. Or maybe we've forsaken him. Maybe that's the problem.
I've been up in the amount of sacrifices I do on a weekly basis, but
what are you doing? Are you doing like a turtle dove?
It's mostly just been bugs, but I might up my game a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta go bigger than bug.
Yeah.
I think bird might be the smallest.
Well, the thing about bugs is they don't have blood. They just got, like, bug goo.
Well, I mean, for God, I think that sacrificing a bird is basically like doing the minimum payment on your credit card.
Okay.
It's like, well, you're not going to get any wrath, but you're not going to get any blessings either. The juice is still running.
I don't know. I haven't seen any goats about town.
You gotta find a good sheep without any birth defects.
Does it have to be a virgin?
I don't think that's... I mean, listen, those shepherds get lonely.
That's true. And I don't know. I'm not going to take a sheep's word for it either. But anyway, got to make them happy. Got to try a little harder.
Yeah, you
got to do it.
You got to keep the old fella, in good spirits or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He gets grumpy.
Thirsty for blood.
Yeah.
I want my sippy cup full of blood. He's old enough, he'll spill it all over himself if you don't put it in a sippy cup.
Boss Baby 2. God Baby. You see that Boss Baby?
I'm aware of the Boss Baby, but I haven't watched his film or television series. Should I?
It's a pretty good television series.
Okay. I heard that
or
it
I mean
was.
the movie.
It got nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, and I immediately filed it into the same category that like the Emoji Movie occupies in my mind of just like that's a pass. But then I heard it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed the Boss Baby. I haven't sought out his television show, but I felt like that film had some interesting things to say about, when your boss is a baby.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
I mean, I think most people would like their boss better if he or she were a baby.
Oh, hang on. I forgot to... We got to pause for a second.
Okay.
And we're back.
Woo! Nice little break there.
Yeah. So we were speaking about the Boss Baby, but I had some exciting news.
What's that?
Are you ready?
Now I'm really ready.
That's right. This is exciting. We have gotten an offer to develop our show into a television program for a streaming service.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow. So many feelings, just a rush of emotions. I mean, I just wanted a podcast, and they're going to give me a TV show?
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to call it. We don't have a TV show yet.
But we do, right?
Well, see, this is...
Oh, it's for a streaming service.
We might have to come up with an idea to seal the deal here. They think, well, you're getting a lot of heat from not having a podcast, but I don't think that they're willing to go, oh, well, you don't have a TV show. That's a great idea.
Oh. So are they going to let us play with anybody else's intellectual property?
I don't know. It's a pretty big one. They say that they get a lot of views. This streaming service.
Oh, what's it called?
Well, I don't know. Don't know if we should say.
Oh, okay. Till the ink's dry.
It's not Netflix. I'll tell you that. It's not Netflix. It's not Hulu. It's not the Disney Plus. It's not Crackle.
It's not Amazon.
No.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. You might have seen it at the gas pump.
Gas station TV?
Well, we can't say anything yet. We can't say that we've been inking a preliminary deal with a certain gas station streaming service.
Now, what I like about there's so many of them now, these gas station streaming services. I like how the person pumping has no choice whatsoever what's going to play. And I think that might help our numbers out.
Yeah, I think that we could spin this into a bidding war with that video screen that's just going in the background behind the bank tellers. It has like trivia where it's like, on this day in 1988, Harry met Sally. And you're like, oh, that was good to know at the bank.
Yeah.
So maybe we could get on there. We'd have to come up with a shorter format for the show. Maybe just like us yelling an idea really loudly.
Yeah, you got to get their attention because how long does it take you to pump your gas? Like roughly a minute?
Yeah.
So these have to be bite-sized.
Yeah. Brought to you by Snickers. Snickers Minis.
Yeah.
With a quick bite. Here's our idea for a show.
Main star doesn't have any hands. How's he live his life?
Hello and welcome to We Don't Have a Show, brought to you by Gas Station TV.
This guy's running around, doesn't have any hands, can't hold things. How's that strike you? He can't. He doesn't have any hands.
That's the show. Come back next week. If you pay for premium gas, then you can see the actual show.
I will chop my hands off to please you.
Some guy's like, oh, damn, I better come back for gas. That's how you get repeat customers. That's how you get a brand loyalty going.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't know if they'll be able to sway me off my my gas brand. I'm dyed and set. I'm a Chevron man to the end.
Dyed in the wool Chevron man.
Yeah.
That's funny because my dad, when I was a kid, was like, the only gas I'll buy is Amoco. The other gas is bullshit. I'm like, I think it's all gas, Dad. But he was serious about only getting his gas from Amoco. We could talk about that on our gas station TV show.
Okay. But we got to make sure that if we're talking about the stations that are carrying, I'm over the moon about this. I've been going to gas stations ever since I was 16, 17.
Knee high to a grasshopper.
Actually, I've been going my whole life, but I was more about the candy than the gas before.
Yeah.
And now I'm about the candy and the gas.
Well, I think that some of those, like a Thornton's or a Circle K, sometimes they'll have a little video screen in the store.
They do.
We could do candy TV.
Okay, I can do that too. Maybe if we play our cards right, we can get we can get in between the advertisements that play before the movie starts.
We'll get a.
All we gotta do is shill Coke and popcorn.
Get a little screen installed, like in the roller grill. So we're in there with the taquitos and shit.
Yeah. Oh man, we can do our TVMA stuff in the beer cave.
Oh yeah, it's after dark. We're just doing a different show in
wear
every
like
different section of the gas
big
station.
coats in there, you know.
Whoa, welcome to the cold zone. I like this idea where we, instead of doing one long show, we do several short video shows for each different section of a convenience store.
Yes. I applaud these executives' wisdom and knowing that we are the men for this job. I don't think I've ever been cut out for something this perfectly.
We'll even record like us doing commentating on a cricket game, so that the guy sitting at the counter can just be watching that while you're getting your two for $3 hot dogs and your 64-ounce Mountain Dew Code Red.
Mm-hmm. You know what they did that made me mad? They don't let you just take the plastic container for the nachos and fill that up with cheese, and as long as you buy any roller grill item, they started charging me for it.
Just filling up that thing with nacho cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's for dipping.
Yeah, but they called me on like nobody needs that much cheese for one hot dog, and I'm
get one of those big styrofoam cups.
Yeah.
They don't know what's in it.
Yeah, because
like, this is soda.
Because the pops are only 79
there's steam
cents
coming out of it, sir.
Why don't you take a drink of that and prove that it's a soda? And I would do it. You know,
70-cent half gallon of nacho cheese. You're just sucking it through the straw.
Now, where I draw the line is the chili dispenser. I know they're right next to each other,
and then you just suck some of that cheese in.
Yeah, I've never had cheese delivered to me by straw before, and that's something that needs to change.
You must. You've never? Oh my.
Yeah, I've mostly used, my hands or forks and spoons on cheese. Never used a straw.
Yeah.
Sometimes a toothpick.
Excellent cheese delivery vector.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Conveyor belt. Also good.
Go down to the they should put more cheese on in the sushi restaurants where they put the sushi on the conveyor that goes around.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always thinking anytime I have any Asian cuisine is, what would make this better? Cheese. If it was covered in liquid cheese.
Oh, like get that big industrial sized can of cheese. And then get like one of those old motor oil can openers and just put the little triangle holes in it and just have it on the table, with some kind of a handle affixed to it, like syrup at the IHOP.
Yeah.
You can just drizzle your own.
In my mind, it makes the same sound that from the Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man's oil can makes when he's all frozen up,
and
there's
one of those little oil cans. Just to add in a little bit of nacho.
And then you can get me going like the Tin Man got going.
Unagi roll.
Precisely.
Yeah. All right, well, I have an idea for a podcast.
Okay, hit me with it.
We still have to keep this up in the meantime until our ship comes in. Here's what I wrote down is Take It From Us. That's the name of the podcast. Take It From Us.
Take it from us.
When people say, take it from me.
I'm a blank.
Yeah.
Or, some sort of reason that they should take it from you.
Maybe it's a different it every week where people are going to take it from us. They're going to take that.
Now this it, is it like a concrete thing, or is it like this information?
Yeah, it is a concrete thing. It is a small concrete goose that is sitting in my front yard.
Okay.
He has a little bonnet.
Take it from us.
He just finished up dressing like a jack-o'-lantern, and now he's dressed up like a pilgrim. And I still haven't got him dressed up like Santa Claus yet. But that's next up on the docket.
I'm wondering how a beard looks on a goose, because they don't have a chin. Is it just hanging down all loosey-goosey like a real bad mall Santa Claus?
He actually just has like a neatly groomed chin strap that goes around his bill, like he's a Persian nightclub owner.
Wonderful.
That's actually in in the Middle East, Santa Claus is a goose who owns a nightclub.
It's kind of like the Boss Baby thing. Like,
Yeah.
if I know I'm patronizing an establishment owned by a goose, it's just going to make me a little bit happier.
Goose
just
Baby.
like serving my Boss Baby makes me happy every day.
Yeah. So that you take that from us. Hell, there is an old out-of-tune piano in my basement that was in here when I moved in. You can take that from us, too.
You cannot take my old out-of-tune piano. I need it.
That's fair.
It's.
What are you doing with that old piano?
It's kind of a table.
You put a different kind of cheese on each key.
I put on airs sometimes. There's part of me that wants to learn how to convert a piano into a player piano. I've never wanted to learn to play it myself, but one of these days I'm gonna trick people into thinking that I know how to play it myself.
Just get a little guy to get in there. Just start banging around.
Yeah, I wish it were a baby grand, but it's just your old stand up. Like, I don't know if I'd have to get a really small little guy.
Yeah, I remember there was one time where Curly from the Three Stooges got inside of an old radio and then had to pretend like the radio was on, and he was like doing the news, and then he starts playing like xylophone with all the little vacuum tubes inside there when he said, "Now it's time for music," and he's blowing a harmonica and like twanging on the wires.
How fucking big were radios?
It was the old times, it was a big radio.
Was it like when they're like, computer with this much power used to fill up three rooms?
Yeah, you ever seen one of those old radios that stands about 4 feet tall?
Okay.
And it's got a big cloth grill, all ornate wooden thing. It has a giant glowing orange dial in the center.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen
Like the
that.
old Westinghouse.
Well, I'm glad that he had a little room to move around in there. It wasn't too awful claustrophobic for him.
Yeah. Well, he's a svelte character. Curly. Yeah, so take it from us. This old radio with the skeleton of Curly inside. He never got out.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say that Take It From Us dovetails very nicely with my first suggestion. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in there. I'm not trying to hurry this idea. I just think that these must be married because it's called Did You See What I Found at the Junkyard?
Oh.
Which, if you take it from us, it's probably going to end up there, but I'm thinking that this sort of propensity that I have to acquire just fucking junk.
Just junk.
I think I'd like to make a podcast about the joys that I get from it before the intervention where my family makes me stop doing it.
They say you gotta stop.
Because we're still in the fun zone. Like there's just fun crap all over the place right now. I'm not yet a hoarder.
You're like, look at this. They don't make OK Cola anymore.
Oh man, if I could find some OK Cola.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to drink any OK Cola that you
No,
find
but those
at the dump.
cans are works of art. I'd keep them in my house.
No, it's not. Daniel Clowes did the poster art, but not the can art. A lot of people think that he did, but he did not.
Well, somebody they found a really good knockoff artist for that can art.
They got him good. They were like, Daniel Clowes wants too much money. Well, who's the Clint Eastwood to Daniel Clowes' Spielberg, who will come in here and do the rest of this work at a cut rate?
My comic book artist knowledge isn't up to snuff enough. I'm just gonna name somebody who's also very, very good and has a different style. I'm trying to think of somebody who
Frank Stallone.
Wonderful art. Frank Stallone.
I just thought of that because he's like the second banana to Sylvester. Let's see if he's done any art.
Well, if it followed that sort of thing, it'd probably just be like Eugene clothes or something.
Oh, but I guess Sylvester Stallone has done some art. Holy shit. It ain't good. What the fuck?
Is it like very muscular men and
yeah, there's one here that
agony and ecstasy sort of poses,
it's
or
like a painting of Superman, but it just looks like crap. Here,
let me look at that.
Flip that around. All these pictures have there's a bunch of screen grabs from some video, and the subtitles are all in Russian. So I guess that doesn't surprise me too much that he's a celebrated artist.
It looks like bathroom graffiti.
Yeah.
But, to each their own. I'm glad that he's found a creative outlet after he gets done with the day-to-day grind of making movies, that he can do something creative for him.
Yeah, it's good that he works so hard and he deserves it. And and I'm sure that he shares the spotlight with all of the people who contribute.
Oh yeah, I hear he's a great guy, and he deserves everything that's coming to him.
Great guy, great set of teeth, nothing weird about his balls. Just a real all-around class act.
Yeah, there's nothing weird about having 3 balls. A lot of people have 3 balls.
Okay.
All that means is that it's working 50% more effectively.
So what have you found at the junkyard?
Well, right now I'm really into vintage piggy banks. But a lot of times people smash them, get their coins out, and then just throw the pieces away and don't even try to glue them back together. So I've been trying to get complete sets.
You gotta, yeah. Here's another thing you gotta watch out for with old piggy banks is racism.
I don't see color.
Well, there's a lot of old racist piggy banks, so you might ask a friend who does. Is this a cool one to have in my house?
Wouldn't it be great if everybody who was colorblind was also incapable of racism?
It's true. That is a fact. I am colorblind. Famously, cannot see race. That's why I thought Jackie Chan was just a deaf guy.
No, he's a deaf Asian guy. A few other things that I found at the junkyard. A whole lot of chicken wire.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You can make yourself a ham costume.
A lot of shoes. Not a lot of pairs of shoes, but I'm also wondering now, how come everybody always wears pairs of shoes? How come you don't wear one of each? How come as soon as you start doing that, people think you're crazy or poor and do your clothes shopping in the junkyard?
Or one of your legs is shorter than the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like somebody should have made the fashion statement of, yeah, that's right, I'm wearing 2 different shoes.
What of it? What's it to you?
It never happens. It's so weird. I just thought of this. It seems like there'd be like shoes that were not exactly the same, that fit the same.
I think crisscross, didn't they dabble in that for a while?
Maybe, but they were also wearing their pants backwards or backwards and inside out, or just backwards.
I mean, they were all cattywampus. They had the shirts and the pants on backwards. I think
I get it, and it's kind of cool, but you got to buy those pants baggy because...
Oh, they were baggy.
Yeah, the crotch of a normal pant has no room for a normal butt.
That's true. You got to get... Yeah. What do you think that those crisscross dudes, what do you think that their dongs were like?
Well, they were children.
Chafed, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were asking about size at first, and I was like,
well, I mean,
like
maybe.
A child size.
I mean, I'd feel like if you had like a monster dong, you probably would not think of, hey, I should wear pants backwards.
Yeah,
You'd do it once in the privacy of your home and be like, ooh, what was I thinking? This is no good.
Do you think that the bagginess of everyone's pants is mostly dependent upon that? Like, was MC Hammer's decision to wear giant genie pants?
Yeah.
He made a wish to a genie for a penis that required
Just
such
said,
pants.
I want balls like medicine balls, and then he got it, and then he was like, ah, shit, genie, can I have your pants?
Yeah. That was his wish 2, and then he realized it wasn't enough, and wish 3 was a bra for his balls. Brawls.
Because originally his third wish was going to be for him to not go bankrupt.
Yeah.
And he was like, dang it. Well, I guess ball bra. Ironically, then, it turned out that someone had already invented the ball bra. That was how he went bankrupt, was spend all his money on the ball bras.
Well, I mean, when you wear them out that fast.
Yeah, you know.
They're a specialty item. Not that many people are buying them.
Women don't understand. They're like, how much can a ball bra cost? And you're like, you'd be surprised.
A lot more than my truck nuts.
Yeah. Can we start an initiative where we make truck nut underwear? Just cover those up. Just go have some sort of a thing. You know, sometimes they'll have like the towing hooks on the back there. So you just have like a little thong that hooks on the towing hooks on the back bumper, and then cups and conceals the truck nuts.
Just like a giant banana hammock for your truck bed.
I saw a motorcycle that had motorcycle nuts, but they were like smaller than human nuts. I was like, oh, damn. That's, I don't know what to think of that. This
motorcycle was in the pool.
It's like, I mean, the motorcycle says lacking confidence, but the tiny nuts say otherwise. All right, I got another idea for a podcast here.
Okay, good.
Truck nuts, that's another thing you can get at the junkyard.
Yeah, I know. I've got some.
All
but
right.
I don't have a truck yet.
That's your real problem. No truck.
It's hard to find a truck at the junkyard.
You gotta go piece by piece on that shit.
The only trucks that show up at the junkyard are spoken for, and they tell me to get out of here.
Maybe someday you'll
get off of my truck.
Optimus Prime will show up and choose you as his human familiar.
I'd be bad at it, but it'd be great.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's good at it. Yeah. I think you'd be a hell of a lot better than Mark Wahlberg.
Thank you. Still a little frustrated that Optimus Prime chose him as well.
Well, Optimus Prime also famously hates the Vietnamese. But that's because he's from Japan. Anyway, here's my next idea.
All
right. This one was a bit of a late night addition to my list of podcast ideas. I woke up in the night and wrote down the Cryptloser.
The Cryptloser.
So he's like the Crypt Keeper, but instead of keeping, he loses.
Okay.
He's the Cryptloser. Now, I don't really know what to do with that idea, but I thought it was too good to not keep.
Well, I can see two ways that this could go. One of them is maybe the Crypt Keeper in cluing us into his stories of the macabre and his wonderful puns about said stories, was keeping these things at bay in real life and keeping them in the realm of the mind, of the dream, figments. But the Cryptloser would not so much share these stories and keep them in that realm. He would inflict them upon everyone. And so there'd be all kinds of monkey paw shenanigans happening to everybody who listens to this podcast. And, you know, behind the scenes, we'd probably have to go and, you know, fuck with our listeners a little bit.
Yeah.
Engineer some spookiness for them.
Yeah. Real irony shit.
The other thing is just like, what if the Crypt Keeper weren't so upbeat and he was just down on his luck and was like,
that's the thing. Yeah, okay. This sounds like an idea because the Crypt Keeper takes a lot of. He has like a sadistic glee about everything bad that happens to other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he'll like someone gets. They like slip on a banana peel and die, and he's like, "That was appealing." So what if it was the Cryptloser is just he's depressed and he's just telling you about his day and all the terrible things that happened to him?
So it would just
But
go
it's
the
still
exact.
puns.
It would be the opposite. It would be like, and then I slipped upon a banana peel. It was not appealing.
Women don't find me appealing. Or maybe. What are some other scenarios that the Cryptloser could? He'd just be like a sad sack who like subtweets all the time. You know, he just vague booking all over the place.
It's wonderful watching that show over to see such a gruesome character who loves being himself so much.
Like he makes a Facebook post that's like, got a lot going on right now. I can't say too much about it on social media. Let's just say that if I were Luke Skywalker, divorce would be with me.
Yes. So instead of he would just be an incel.
Yeah, he's just even more than that. He's just a sloppy bitch. He loves drama. But everything is just woe is me.
And every time we would get to the interstitials, he would always make it about himself. We'd be watching something, and he would just go off on a rant that has nothing to do with what we just seen.
We still do like the classic irony style, like episodic short stories, but then it keeps coming back to the Cryptloser, and he's like, well, I mean, that wasn't as bad as how I had it in college.
I think that would make for a pretty good show. He could... Oh, man. He would always miss the point of the story as well.
Yeah. He has no idea what's going on in the story. He just wants to talk about himself.
The lady or the tiger? Should I pay my rent or my electricity bill? They don't pay me enough to do this show to pay both. I didn't even do a pun with that, though.
Yeah.
He would come up with a pun.
He'd be like, the house always wins.
Yeah.
I like the idea of him crying maniacally after every pun.
I like the idea of him having new jobs. I think there could be a show
Yeah, he can't hold down a job at all. He's not, he lives in the crypt. It's
like the Cryptloser is not a job. He's doing many small-time jobs around town. He's the one telling me that I have to pay for my cheese.
Yeah.
He's my blackjack dealer.
I can't. You have to go through the drive-through twice because the Cryptloser is so bad at figuring out the buttons on the McDonald's thing. He gives you a medium fry when you paid for the large.
2 for 1. I thought you said 2 for pun. Full price.
Yeah, so that's the Cryptloser.
Okay, I that's a pretty good show. I want to watch that show, but I think that this might be something for gas station TV as well. Can there be a spin-off gas station television program?
Okay.
This is completely on a different track here, but what do you think about it's starting to get cold out, and I don't care about them very often, but I'm starting to think about them a little bit. The Winter Olympics. So I have a podcast idea called Chili Idols, your guide to winter sports.
Chili Idols.
It's like Billy Idol.
Yes.
But cold. And it's just once every 4 years, you've got to kind of do your patriotic duty and pretend like you care.
Yeah.
About.
You're like, oh, hell yeah, Peekaboo Street. Out here repping chapstick.
Mm-hmm. And
rest of the year, you don't give a fuck about Peekaboo Street.
The rest of 3+ years, you don't care about Peekaboo
like,
Street.
Pika who?
But just because it's not on TV doesn't mean that people aren't strapping pieces of wood to their feet and just going down a mountain somewhere. And maybe there could be a podcast that's talking about that.
Yeah.
And I think that a podcast is a better medium for winter sports because when they're on TV, I have no idea what's going on. Everything's so white. I don't, there's not a good frame of reference. Everything's a race, but they go one at a time. So you can't even tell who's doing good or bad unless they fall down.
And I mean, honestly, maybe this is a podcast for people to learn about. Because here's the other thing. Winter sports, you watch that in the Olympics, you don't know what the score is. You don't know what's right and what's wrong. They're doing shit. You're like, is that good or is it bad? I don't understand curling. They're all hollering at each other, running around with brooms.
Yeah. I just thought it was like shuffleboard, but there's more rules there that I don't know that aren't.
They do like that snowboard half pipe. I'm impressed with everyone. I don't know what's the good trick and what's the bad trick.
Yeah.
The fact I don't fall on my ass is the best I hope for when I hit the slopes. They call me the scorpion out there on the slopes because I fall flat on my face and then the snowboard flips up and hits me in the back of the head. And that's a true story.
I've never gone skiing before or snowboarding.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's
all
that's
of my rich friends.
Your type out.
All of my rich friends, when they came over to my house, took one sniff and they were like, "He can't come skiing with us." It smells like cigarettes and beef stew in here.
He's got dried dinty moor around his mouth. We can't take him to the chalet.
You take him in there, and he's gonna just start snapping into a Slim Jim, and it'll all be over.
I don't want to take away from what you've proposed here with Chili Idols, but what if we spelled chili differently?
CHILI?
Yeah. What if this was like American Idol?
Ooh.
But it's a nationally televised chili cook-off.
Oh.
Chili Idol.
I really like that. But we got to get all the best chefs, all the best chili chefs in the world. And this time, this is not for prima donnas.
Here's what we do.
You don't get to write into your contract that you get to this stage or whatever. We aren't going to fix your fuck-ups in post.
Yeah.
This is a real honest-to-God cooking competition podcast.
Here's what we do. It's like American Idol. We don't allow professionals. We make them wait in line outside of a, convention center ballroom somewhere in their hometown, and we do pre-interviews with them. We intentionally have some bad chili chefs. Then we have who would our celebrity our judges be? Paul Prudhomme.
Oh, I was gonna go with all gold medalist skiers.
Have bring back the other chili kind of chili.
Like, because I'd like to put some eyes on these guys and gals during the 3 years we don't pretend to care about them. But also, you're right. Talking about skiing would be the worst.
Yeah.
Really, I was going to make it a backdoor to try to improve these sports so they were more watchable and didn't give me a headache. But
I think if we
I'd much rather watch more
a chili cook-off into the Winter Olympics.
I think that would become the most sought after medal in the Winter Olympics.
You have a 4-year cycle of seasons of your chili cook-off competitive reality show.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wins gets a seat on the Olympic team. Now, they might have to do some other winter sports until we can get chili cook-off recognized by the Olympic Committee. But, I mean, really, you could do that anyway. Just oh, no, you're on the Jamaican downhill skiing team. Like that one lady did, and it was, hilarious to watch. She just signed up with some other country so that she can go to the Olympics. But then maybe we just send them down the hill, and they don't know how to, jump the moguls or whatever. But they got a cup of chili in each hand.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You're jazzing all these sports up.
Yeah.
You get no polls. And whoever, don't worry about tricks. Don't worry about going around flags. It's all about who has the most chili in their cup at the end of the run.
Yeah, we just have
no time even. I want to watch somebody gingerly going down the mountain as slowly as possible, taking the largest zigs and zags across, back and forth.
So that's what we do is we pack the American, or maybe not America, because so we got to find a country that's not going to have any winter sports teams. And then we just make it so if you win our reality show, then you automatically get a seat at the Trinidadian downhill skiing team.
I mean, just about every country that's in between the tropics of Capricorn and Cancer is very underrepresented. And this is...
And so then what we have is we just completely flaunt the rules that are laid out by the Olympic Committee board of whatever, and we have our own unofficial rules. And so when it comes time for Trinidad or the island of Hispaniola, it's just a bunch of middle-aged dads, and they got a thermos of chili. And they're just doing the snow plow slowly down the hill.
Worst case scenario, even if it doesn't work as well as we're hoping, they're going to make a movie about it later. And we'll get, they'll pay the rights.
The judges are 0, 0, 0, but the crowd is going wild when this old man comes down and he has not spilled a drop of chili.
America loved Cool Runnings. How does Chili Runs sound to you?
Hot Runnings. The much anticipated sequel. I really appreciate Cool Runnings for being one of the few movies that stays true to the original vision of the modern Olympic Games, and that is an experience in race science.
You're not wrong. The early Olympics were just
buck wild,
terrible.
God, look up the 1904
the St. Louis
Olympic Marathon is one of the funniest stories in sports history.
We're gonna have us a marathon, but we're not gonna give them any water.
They didn't even shut down the streets. People were getting hit by cars. There was a man who just wandered in and said, "What's this?" And they said, "It's a marathon. It's a 26-mile race." And he was like, "Sounds good." And then he got a pair of scissors and cut his pants and his shorts. He got chased by a dog, ate some rotten apples, fell asleep, and still placed in the race.
Yeah. And didn't the guy who won do so had his doctor with him who kept feeding him strychnine?
Yeah, there was one guy who was doping with rat poison, and I think he actually collapsed and got in a car, but then at some point realized that if he got out of the car, he could win, so he got back out of the car and ran the rest of the race. Whew, it was wild. So that's your history lesson for the day.
Yeah. So,
but these are Summer Olympic
really,
sports.
I don't want to make it like a cruel game of eugenics.
Yeah,
let's make those rules a little sillier. Let's
downhill chili relay.
Put lots of chili in there, and let's also take a few pages from the Calvin Ball rule book and make it a little fun, because Jiminy Christmas, I can't look at all that white all of the time. It gives me a headache. Makes me feel like I'm going blind. It's not a photogenic thing. Like you got to add some stuff to it.
Invent other colors of snow.
How much money would it cost to dye a mountain blood red?
Ooh. You get a corporate sponsor for it. Hey,
Red Bull. You want to make a red mountain?
Hey, I'm
That's
Bono.
fucking cool.
Come support AIDS research with this new Project Red downhill mountain. Downhill chili mountain.
We're gonna have somebody skydive from the rim of space, and we've made a giant bullseye where the red bullseye center is Mount Everest, and he's gonna land right on the tippy top. And then participate in the Olympics on Mount Everest.
We're gonna get Rip Taylor to skydive with a big bowl of chili.
And a big bowl of confetti.
And
he can't get any of the confetti in the chili.
Yes. He has one bowl of chili and one bowl of confetti, and he can't get them mixed up at all. And then he lands on the top of the mountain and then plants a flag that says Red Bull.
It makes me feel bad that we've set Rip Taylor up for such spectacular failure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that he's already committed the most spectacular failure of all in death.
Oh. Okay. He's dead. We can do whatever we want with this
throw
corpse.
His dead ass out of a plane with chili.
No. Now, Rip Taylor, now you listen to me. Don't you mix that confetti in that chili. I know you want to so bad. All right, have fun.
We just bank on the fact that people don't know Rip Taylor died, and we just throw his ass out of a plane, and then when he hits the ground, we're like, "Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Rip Taylor has died at the Winter Olympics." But the chili remains unspilled, ladies and gentlemen.
Why is it only Rip Taylor and the Harlem Globetrotters that throw confetti so vigorously?
Yeah,
it feels like that bit is free for the taking at this point.
Yeah.
Can I be the confetti guy?
Yeah.
Noted. I've got so
I mean,
so many Junkyard books that I can just start shredding.
You know, I feel like throwing confetti might be like a foot in the door to join Scooby Doo and the gang on one of their adventures as well.
If I could get my foot in that door, I'd never go outside again.
All right, we have so many good listener suggested ideas for podcasts this week. I don't even know which one of these. How about I just read? I'll read a couple of them here.
Okay.
All right. Crystal writes, "Wine not?" ?
I ask myself that question frequently.
And now I'll read two more. There's several here. Alex writes, "What if Yoda was stoned all the time?"
I think he is, right? Isn't he?
Oh man, can you imagine if Yoda was stoned all the time? And the third choice, Rob writes, "Gay culture, please."
Okay.
So, out of those three, which one are we going to do?
My inclination when given three amazing ideas is usually to just throw them all together.
Synthesize them all into one. So this would be a gay culture podcast where Yoda is.
What if gay stoned Yoda wanted another glass of wine? Not.
It's a sobriety podcast with a gay version of Yoda who he started smoking pot because he was an alcoholic. And that's the only thing that could get him off the sauce. So now he's just a big stoner. It's Why Not with Gay Yoda.
What will you have? Why not?
Why not? Or I guess Yoda would do the not joke. He would say, "Not wine."
Yeah.
So this podcast is called Not Wine with Gay Yoda.
Yeah.
And that could be pretty good. Would we have to hire somebody to play Gay Yoda?
Can we not get Gay Yoda?
Oh, that's a good point. We could just probably get Gay Yoda.
I don't know. Now that everybody's such a huge fan of Baby Yoda.
Ooh.
I feel like proper true Yoda is probably feeling a little underappreciated and would probably enjoy.
Yeah, he's definitely with the hot new Yoda out. He's he's Hollywood Squares material.
Yeah,
put him in that Rip Taylor square.
Shit.
He throws chili.
Yeah, he doesn't even get the whoopee square. He's up in the corner. Yeah. I wonder how Bruce Villanch is going to take this news, though. You're out. Baby Yoda, or old Yoda's in.
Sorry, Bruce Villanch. There's a new gay icon. And it's Yoda.
But Yoda's voiced by Frank Oz, right? Also the voice of Miss Piggy.
Mm-hmm. Another gay icon.
Yeah. I feel like Yoda is absolutely ready for his gay iconography.
Iconography?
Iconhood.
Robot.
I can't think of the icon noun.
Iconography.
Iconography. Yes. I know that word. I just didn't know where I was going once I got icon out of my mouth.
That's a do or do not. There is no triconography.
But all of those were great ideas. They were all better than my ideas this week. Wonderful job, listeners.
Very little light on the ideas here. But maybe we go to the Podtron. Maybe the Podtron could pull our bacon out of the fire
Let's
this week.
do it, Podtron.
All right. So for those of you at home who maybe this is your first time listening to an episode, this is the one right after our big Black Friday sale, our big push to get more subscribers. The Podtron is a neural network that I've devised that we feed popular podcast titles to, and then it tries to procedurally generate all new podcast titles based on what statistically trends on Apple Podcasts. All right. So we got some good stuff here. You want to
me to start it off here?
Yeah, go ahead and kick it off.
Okay, I've got So Matter. Which I think might be a show that talks about how anything that has mass is cool. Because when the "so" is so long on this,
I was gonna say, you really pronounce that "so." Is it more than 2 O's?
It's 3 O's.
3 O's.
3 O's. So it could be "Sue," but they don't have the
Matter.
"we" part, so it's "So Matter," which when something is so something, it's like usually pretty cool. So I think this could be a podcast where anything that has substance, we just sell it.
Maybe we
and enjoy its corporeal form.
we rank things by density.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we could do some rankings in there.
So yeah, we could be like, oh, top 10. We do a top 10, but we rank them by density. That's So Matter. That's So Matter. That could work.
Yeah, and we could do like different types of touch or feel. Like it could be all spongy stuff this time.
It could be like top 10 Beatles songs.
It'll only work though if we have the actual vinyl or a CD or a tape in here that I can touch. Because if it's just coming over there streaming, how does that matter?
All right, so here's what we got for top 10 Beatles songs. Number 1, or first off, I don't know if this is in ascending or descending order. So we have While My Guitar Gently Weeps. So that's a guitar.
Yeah. And that is
Pretty sure that floats. Probably not that dense. It's also weeping though, but gently.
Is it an acoustic or an electric guitar?
I believe it's actually Eric Clapton's electric guitar on that song.
Okay, that's not gonna float.
Fender Stratocaster. It is still mostly made of wood. Although I guess that you're gonna have to take into account the amplifier and everything if you want to get that true Eric Clapton woman tone.
You've got to plug it in, and then it's gonna sink right to the bottom.
Now, next up is Come Together. Now, this has got a lot of things, right? You got Old Flat Top. He's got Juju Eyeballs. He wants Coca-Cola.
There's a lot of
He
matter in
shoots
that.
Spinal Cracker. He knows that 1 and 1 makes 3. Come Together right now. I mean, honestly, this is essentially probably the densest Beatles song. It's describing everything coming together. That is a singularity. They're singing about a black hole. I think this is going to have to be number 1, unless something unseats it. Next up is Let It Be. This is,
Words of Wisdom.
No. Times of Trouble.
No, this is far too euphemistic, and there's no substance in this song.
Yeah, words of wisdom don't weigh shit. They have no mass. Mother Mary, also ethereal. Hey Jude.
Sad song. Your heart.
It's heavy,
hard.
right? It's
Yeah.
very... There's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah, this
I feel like it's definitely on the heavier side. Like, as far as if we're ranking them by density or mass, it's probably up there. Except next up is Something. You know that one, right?
Yeah. Something in the way she moves.
Yeah, see, and that's about gravity, right? It's about the movement of celestial bodies.
That's a weird one because it's more. It's not so much. It's about how matter be and not about being so matter. Like I want to know where's the Beatles song about God's diamond dump truck? Because that's the only thing I can think of that might beat the one that was winning. I can't remember what it was.
That was Come Together.
Come Together.
Okay, so there's also Yesterday. These ones are all getting...
Yeah, your troubles
They
don't
seem so
amount
far
to a
away.
hill of a beans when we're comparing.
Seems as though they're here to stay. I mean, this is very... I mean, like, as far as, like, emotionally, it's very heavy, but it's also very ethereal. I don't know. And we have Strawberry Fields Forever.
Oh,
this one is
that's
pretty
it.
tricky
Yeah.
too, right? Because it's Strawberry Fields. Well, I mean, how much can a field full of strawberries? But
forever.
This is an eternal strawberry field.
We have a competition on our hands now.
There's also I Want to Hold Your Hand.
I was thinking maybe A Day in the Life, but then
Day
I
in
was
the
like,
Life. That's next up.
There's 100,000 holes in Lancashire Avenue, so that's I was thinking like a whole street. That's got a lot to it, but too many holes.
Here's the thing, though, is that the holes have no mass. So when he says, "Now we know how many holes it takes to fill the Albert Hall," that is literally a
They are trying to undo this premise in that song.
This is definitely the bottom. This is number 10 on the list.
I know that
But
the
she's
podcast is So Matter, but I think that really a podcast ranking all the Beatles songs by very abstruse sort of parameters might be a good podcast. You thought that everything had been said about the Beatles, but you were wrong.
Also, She's So Heavy.
She's not heavy. She's my brother.
That one's definitely in the running as well. Oh, also, what's the one that's the boy, you're gonna carry that weight?
I don't know. It's on the White Album.
Carry that weight a long time.
It might just be called Carry That Weight.
What is it? Yeah, we're gonna have to edit out our fucking dumbasses.
Oh man, did the Beatles ever write a song about like pianos or anvils falling on people's heads?
Yeah, it's just called Carry That Weight. Yeah, so I think it's part of You Never Give Me Your Money, that whole,
Yeah, okay.
You never give me your money. Golden slumbers fill your eyes. That's a really good run they had there, right? And then it goes into the end. I think that probably...
Man, this is a much richer premise than I thought it was going to be at first. And it seems like the Beatles knew that this conversation was going to happen. Even their album titles, Rubber Soul, something without matter, made material.
Yeah. The dense and the ethereal coming together. But it's not just the Beatles. We'd have to come up with something else. Anyway, that was So Matter. I have one here.
All right, what do you got?
From the Podtron. This is called Stuff Mom 69.
Okay. So, Stuff Mom 69.
I mean...
Now, I'm not sure where that's on there. Is that 69 spelled out, or is it...
it is...
The numbers 6 and 9?
The numbers 6 and 9. Stuff Mom 69 is what the Podtron...
Is there an apostrophe next to it, like in Bryan Adams' Summer of 69?
There is an apostrophe, and I think that's the only thing that's going to get us out of this mess.
Okay. So...
Then again, I mean, I understand our reticence here, but the most popular search terms on the internet have to do with stuffing mom in a 69.
Okay. So, what are we going to stuff her with? Like mashed potatoes?
Dick, I think, right?
Oh, dick. Okay. Now, how's that going to work in podcast form? Is it just going to be a lot of, are we going to have to make a lot of sound effects? Is this just going to be an all Foley podcast?
Well, I mean, here's the thing about all of the pornography. None of that is anyone's actual mom. So, oh wait,
it was mine. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You did.
Why do you think I'm even here?
Oh no. Oh, AJ, you didn't have to. Oh. Yeah, so we could just be like, one of us is mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every week on the podcast, you're like, hi, this is your mom. And now it's time to stuff me. I don't think I'm comfortable with this, but if anybody else, if any listener wants to take over and do the Stuff Mom 69 podcast,
it is sort of.
It is available under a Creative Commons license.
You are guaranteed to. You probably won't have, like, I don't know. I've struggled to call them fans. You will have consumers.
You will have an audience. It is baked in.
You could probably, yeah. It would be an interesting challenge to try to create the entire soundscape of a pornographic movie using entirely not moms getting stuffed in 69. I mean, it's a lot easier if you got that.
Yeah, if you got that already.
But sometimes you just like a challenge.
Yeah. Do you have another
Sometimes
idea?
you just want to do an audiophonic recreation of your own conception. And yeah, I've got another one. I've got the So Smoken, a podcast. Which I took the liberty of saying that in a Jim Carrey fashion. But the So Smoken, a podcast.
So it's smoking, not smoking.
Yeah, it's SMOKEN.
OEN.
Yeah.
Colon.
A podcast.
A podcast.
The So Smoken, a podcast.
So smoking.
And I think this one might be Once again, it's another one with So in there. I think that this could be a podcast that tries to make earworm sort of comedy quotes that have died a terrible death and been done and done and done.
We're going to bring them back.
We're going to bring them back in a new context.
The new Prometheus.
Yes. So, whereas Jim Carrey in The Mask would say, "Smokin'," we might say, "Smokin'." That's
smoking.
Totally. We were talking about the three Sturgises earlier, and
Sturgises.
yeah, and I just think that a lot of these things, like a lot of the joy, is on the page and not how it's said. But when everybody repeats it ad nauseum in the same "my wife" style, you lose a little bit.
You got to freshen it up.
So the So Smoken, a podcast, would ideally be completely comprised of quotes from comedy movies from the 90s, all delivered in different manners.
So you'd be like, "Somebody stop!"
Me? Yeah. A lot of these could be done in William Shatner style. You know, he understood this long before anyone else and would chew on his scripts a little bit longer and find
you're basically doing a Lionel Hutz here, where you're just adding a comma and a question mark to a sentence.
Yeah.
No, money down. You could do you could just do any really any movie quote, you know?
Yeah. And it might not entirely be. We might explore like the social context in which you would use this new line reading, and possibly if they're taking off, we might do a few stories about how, you know, kids these days are saying
they took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some Austin Powers ones.
Do I make you horny?
Do I make you horny, baby?
Baby? It's just about a baby. You're like, oh no.
Babies shouldn't be getting boners.
No.
Do I make you horny, baby?
I'm just changing your diaper. I'm not trying to make you horny, baby. Oh no. Oh, do I make you horny, baby? Do I?
If you sit alone for hours on end and just repeat these, hoping to become funny, you'll find
you'll get
a lot in there.
It's all there, all for you to take, free to use.
Do you see any others that the Podtron has come up with this week that you like?
There's another one here that I really like, and it's called Juan Extra Huff.
Juan
Extra Huff.
Now, is that Huff?
Yeah, it is Juan, like the name, and then Extra Huff. So this is it could be like a pun, like one extra puff. So maybe it's like stoner humor, but for guys named Juan who just like to huff a gasoline-soaked rag.
Oh, that's better. I was thinking like when people get huffy, and maybe Juan was spending the whole podcast with his arms crossed, and he's just like, "That's not how I would do it. When I do podcasts, I like to have an idea beforehand."
Yeah. So Juan is not going to be invited on the podcast.
Yeah, because he's a piece of shit.
Because he's so huffy. So instead, we would just have to. I think we would just have to talk shit about Juan.
So we will take one extra puff to talk about Juan, who is extra huff.
Extra huff, yeah. So we do a puff, and then we talk about his huff. But we don't let him give us guff.
No.
Because we're made of sterner stuff. I can see you trying to find another one, and I think we exhausted it. Juan Extra Huff.
The only thing I can think of is if we could be made of truly rough stuff instead of turn.
Oh yeah, no, you could get rough.
Oh, I thought of one.
But we're trying to. There's no fluff.
We could send Juan back to Stuff Mom 69 right into the muff. There it was.
Juan Extra Huff in Mom's Extra Muff. All right. We've been, we're running long on this one here. We got Take It From Us. Did you see what I found at the junkyard? The Cryptloser. Chili Idols. Your Guide to Winter Sports. Why not? Why not with Gay Yoda? That's So Matter. Stuff Mom 69. The So Smoken, a podcast. And Juan Extra Huff. Now, I don't know how you're feeling about any of these, but I am super ambivalent about all of them.
I think I think the fact that both of our number one ideas were roughly the same podcast speaks volumes. I think we should do a combo of Did You See What I Saw in the Junkyard and Take It From Us.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm on board with that. I was kind of trying to imagine what would what the So Matter and the So Smoken, where we'd try and rate things that the
I was very much enjoying the I kind of wanted the That's So Matter to turn into very odd ways to rank Beatles songs. I
was gonna suggest that we combine the So Smoken with That's So Matter and do a podcast where we rank the masks different bits based on density or mass. But I think that the Take It From Us, Did You See What I Found at the Junkyard? I think that there was a lot of synergy there. That was right out of the gate.
I'm seeing some more synergy. I think we can have some social media posts of some of these great junkyard finds, and maybe somebody will take some of it from me.
Yeah. All right. So if you want to hear Take It From Us, the Junkyard pod, that will be available this week on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/we don't have a podcast yet. And if you support us at the $5 level, you will get access to the whole vault of old podcasts that we didn't deem worthy to become the podcast that will one day cement our names in the halls of medicine. So go over there. There's lots of good stuff.
It's a really fun place.
We just did one where we do a tarot reading. We've also talked about masturbating. Yeah. That one's a fan fave, I'm sure.
We did
I'm doing a jerk off motion.
Yeah. We talked about ghost horses, and we jacked them off too.
I think there was, yeah. We reviewed movies.
We reviewed reviews.
We reviewed reviews. We've done it all over there. And if you sign up, that $5 gets you a second episode every week. And these aren't brainstorming sessions. These are real ass podcasts. And also, if you sign up at the $5 level, you're entitled to take any of those ideas and make them your own and start doing that podcast, as long as you credit us.
And swear fealty.
You must swear fealty. And this is important because in this new techno-feudalism, we're going to need everybody we can to take on Peter Thiel and his army of blood boys.
Those goddamn blood boys.
All right. Goodbye.